Manchester City taking on Real Madrid. Talk about familiar foes. City are the outsiders going into this clash. Real Madrid favourites to advance, of course. You've got to stop the likes of Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. Here's Pep Guardiola's plan.
Well, it's impossible in 90 minutes, 180 minutes or 200 minutes, depends extra time to control these four players. They are, everybody knows, so I don't say anything new. They are exceptionals, so how they combine, how the runners, the ability in 1-against-1, how they keep the ball, so all four, they are exceptional, so everybody knows it, so we have to reduce his involvement as much as possible, you know, knowing that it's going to happen, accept it.
Pep saying all the right things, but anyone who's seen them all play together this season know that they have been far from their best, and this epitomised by the front page of Marca. Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti blew up at half-time in the derby, which of course finished 1-1 against Atletico this weekend, saying he wanted more from his superstars. Mario Jan is still with us. Let's welcome in, shall we, Alex Kirkland, to look ahead to this game. Alex, let's focus first, shall we, on those comments from Carlo Ancelotti, which obviously have leaked out from somewhere. And it's something he's alluded to, hasn't he, throughout the season, that he wants more from these front four, not necessarily going forward.
Yeah, he's been talking about this all season, Dan. They've got so much talent going forwards. The problem is defending, and not just the defence, but defending as a team, especially in a situation where Real Madrid have got this, what Ancelotti's called a defensive emergency, with basically the entire defence out injured. Carvajal, Rudiger, Militao, Alaba, Lucas Vazquez. In that context, it's even more important that the whole team defends, and it starts at the front. You're right, Ancelotti's talked about this all season. He's talked about that kind of collective commitment, which led Madrid to a double last season. It hasn't quite been there this campaign. He was asked about it again today, talked about it in the pre-match press conference, saying, look, these four attacking players basically have to be kind of, I think Rodrigo called themselves kind of reference points for the rest of the team. You know, Rodrigo was saying, look, we work, the rest of the team see that, and it all works. By contrast, if the rest of the team see that the forwards are walking around and aren't putting the effort in, you know, what sort of message does that send to them? It's been the problem for Real Madrid all season. The attack is no problem. They score plenty of goals pretty consistently. The issue is defending. And yeah, Ancelotti's been pretty clear. That starts at the front, especially if you're going to keep insisting on playing these four forward players, which Ancelotti seems to want to do.
Yeah, and I suppose the thing is, Ancelotti, as Alex quite rightly said, has said this on more than one occasion, yet clearly these players aren't listening to him.
No, it doesn't seem like they are, or is it just in their core of the way they're playing? I mean, it was interesting in the derby this weekend, the spaces they were leaving behind them. And they were not, I mean, sometimes I always remember when I say to my wife, when I watch a game, I say, they don't want to do this. They're not running back. And they say, don't speak like a fan. You know they want to run back. But there are some players, I'm not sure they want to run back. I mean, that is in their core. They don't want to run back. And I think that is the chance for Manchester City, because the spaces that there are available, so to say, against that Real Madrid, well, that could be taken advantage of.
What an insight into the Fjortoft household. I love it.
I feel so sorry for Mrs. Fjortoft at this point.
I find that brilliant. Let's take a look, because just to lead the discussion, let's just take a look at everyone's predictions going into this game. Real Madrid, as I mentioned, are favourites. They've certainly gone over them over recent times when they met. Everyone is going for a draw. With the exception of course, Jan, it's blooming Haaland, isn't it?
Oh, well,
yeah, Jan is...
Mario's going for Real Madrid.
Jan is the only one going from Manchester City, but of course he has to do that, because otherwise he upsets Erling Haaland's dad, and he goes on the naughty step with Arsenal.
No, so, I have to correct you. I do it because of Oscar Bob's parents.
Oscar Bob. Oh, that's what...
you will see poor Oscar Bob, he was nearly back now, and then he got a small injury in training. No, I think that this will be Manchester City. They will go through on Real Madrid. They will take advantage of this. They will win the first game, and then everybody think they will sort it out at Santiago Bernabeu. Well, they didn't sort out Atletico Madrid, did they? So let's see what's happening. I think I will be right here, boys.
But I don't want to go down the route with Jan, because I know
Why, Dan? Why, Dan?
Going against Leyton Orient.
When they play at home, they want to dictate the tempo, they want to make the game. And I think when they make the game, they can also expose themselves especially when it comes to like, it's either with City, if they don't take the advantage in scoring goals, they look very vulnerable when you take the pressure behind the defense. So that's why it's going to be an interesting game, and we all know the speed that Real has. You understand, up front from the two guys. You know, if Vini is good in his game, okay, over the weekend, I don't think Vini showed us his best, but Mbappe is in a good form, so I think he can really hurt them in a way that it could be really difficult. And okay, and we don't know who's going to play on the right for City, yeah? Because they've been trying it. Luis Nunes, it's always a question mark there, and we don't know what's going to happen. And I think that's why they look a little bit vulnerable. So I think Real have a big chance.
Alex, what are the expectations from Real Madrid going into this? Obviously, it's Champions League. They expect to win it.
Yeah, no one really knows because there's an acceptance here. This is a flawed Real Madrid team, but it's also a flawed Manchester City team. You know, these are not two clubs that should be meeting in the playoff rounds for the knockout phase. This should be, as it has been in previous years, a quarter-final or a semi-final. But as Ancelotti was saying today, well, whose fault is that? It's Madrid's fault and it's City's fault because they haven't been good enough in the Champions League so far. I think there's an acceptance, a recognition that, look, this Madrid team have been devastated by injuries. I mentioned the list earlier. We don't know who's going to play at right back because no Carvajal, no Lucas Vazquez. Will it be Fede Valverde? Will it be something else like switching Ferland Mendy across from left to right back? We don't know, but there's huge issues at the back, and I think everyone knows that this City team, whatever sort of form they're in, this City team and Erling Haaland can get at this Real Madrid defence. Of course they can, but also equally, the City team are there to be got at as well. So basically, no one really knows. In the last few years, you know, you can look at previous years and what's happened. In Manchester, we saw that in 2022, Madrid got away with it, really. They were played off the park and got away with it, just being a goal in the difference in the tie. The year after that, they were blown away by City. The year after that was different. It was the second leg and it was 1-1 and tight and penalties. No one really knows what to expect. But I think, like I say, there's a recognition. It's two flawed versions of these two teams.
But it's two flawed versions that we can't wait to see, Shane.
We could never wait to see these two given their successes over the years. I think this year is so different from any other. In years gone by when these two meet, and it seems to be an annual occurrence, we always seem to focus on each strength. Who, you know, the firepower, where are they really good, and what they bring to the table. All of a sudden this year the focus is on each other's vulnerabilities, where they're lacking.